So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. What do you guys think about the Thunder here in this one?
And this team has done a nice job on the glass. I think that's how they've built this lead. They've been very physical, really established a presence in the paint.
Well, they've chased down those balls. As soon as they've hit the iron, they've been chasing them down. It's been a solid effort by them.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, gentlemen, head coach Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat finally getting the respect he deserves now with their multiple championships. But his players, not afraid to rib him a little. Dwayne Wade said Spoelstra's favorite word, focus. He said, here's what it sounds like to play for my coach. Come on, guys, we have to focus. Next game. Come on, guys, it's about focus. Game 82. Guys, it's about focus. Kevin, it's all about that consistent message, right?
A steady hand, Doris. The players seem to really appreciate it. And the Thunder making a switch here. Perkins is checked in, and out of bounds is the Thunder gain possession. The Heat making a switch here. Haslam's checked in.
Usually the logic is that if you want to win the West, you need to get a lot of wins against the East to pad your record, guys. But the Thunders did dominate the East last season, but not as much as the other teams, and they still won the West.
And LeBron throws it down.
Tell you what, LeBron can absolutely soar in for the finish. I remember last year the alley-oop in the conference finals against Indiana just almost put his head on the rim.
Air freight is a nickname we could dub LeBron James. I mean, he's an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Defensively, the strength, length, mobility. He can wall you up and lock you down and put you away.
Well, getting back to the Thunder, as you said, Clark, they took the East to task once again. They were 21-9 against the conference. But, Steve, that was just tied for the third best in the West.
You know, I think a big part of that is that after they made it to the finals for the first time, they played with a target on their back. And I thought every team in the league knew they had to bring their A game to try to kind of make a statement against the Thunder.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
And Chalmers kicks to Bosch. He's against Perkins. Back to Chalmers. The feed to Haslam. This is to Bosch. That is good. Bosch has got his first basket.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
So here's Westbrook.
Well, coming off a title last year, you always wonder if a team will maybe relax a little bit. They usually won't admit to it, but Chris Bosh readily said it at times that his team had a difficult time lighting that fire again. Where the drive to the bucket was nice, but how about the finger roll finish? Beautiful.
LeBron kicks to Chalmers. LeBron against Durant. And LeBron throws it down hard.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
I'm going to go back to what Bosh said. I think that is true for every team, Clark, that comes off a championship, but they usually don't admit it like Bosh did.
Well, you know what? Once you've won it all, there is a bit of a relief and a little malaise that may settle over you, but I've always respected Bosh's candor. He's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue, and he articulates what he feels, and I think it's impressive that they fought back to the finals once more, because that shows they eventually did recapture that fire.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I'd venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
Miami's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. LeBron kicks to Allen. Back to LeBron. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
He feeds it to LeBron. Heat moving the ball around. Allen dishes to LeBron.
That's foul number 2 on him. It might not warrant sitting him entirely, but another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
This is his second trip to the line in this one.
The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great team until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, thank you. There was a lot of thought about how the Heat could improve after they lost to the Mavs in the 2011 NBA Finals. Many called for a veteran point guard, but the team felt comfortable with who they had. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, "We felt we had one of the younger point guard tandems in the league that we can build on and offer us championship minutes right now." They grew into that role and were a big part of their back-to-back titles. Spoelstra says they earned it with their hard work, and he couldn't be happier, guys.
Thanks again, Doris. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Shane Battier is checked in for Udonis Haslem.
Hey, we all know how hard it was for the Thunder going into last season to trade away their sixth-man star, James Harden, but it was something that had to be done. They really missed his playmaking ability, though, and I think they missed him in the locker room, too.
Here's LeBron. Miami no good on that time either.
Boy, that was way behind the line. Now, he can make that at times.
He certainly is one of the guys that can actually do it from there.
And that one's good. Durant.
It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but now he's definitely found his stride and rhythm.
And for the Thunder, a financial decision to trade away Harden. They've already tied up Steve money and big contracts to Durant, to Westbrook, Ibaka, and Perkins.
And Kevin, I think a lot of people questioned why they didn't keep Harden and maybe move Ibaka or Perkins. I think Perkins would have been maybe the best option, but he's really looked at as their best post defender and a guy who brings leadership and toughness. So it was a very difficult decision, but there's no doubt this team missed James Harden.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Allen, defended by Lamb. Anderson passes to Allen. And it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here.
Yeah, so close to picking that pass off, guys.
At least he got a hand on it. He did what he needed to do to make sure it didn't hit the target.
And LeBron James gets it to go.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Gets it to go. He got it up. No luck. And the first half is now in the books. Thunder lead by 9.